20.
Let's move on to our last segment of the day, of the episode. Where's the topic here? Bang. It's going to be an interesting version of a mock draft. So, we're going to go back and forth on picks. Steed, are you taking odds or evens for this?
I'll take odds.
You're taking odds. Interesting. I thought you were going to come out here and take evens.
I don't want to pick for the Falcons.
Why not?
I want you to pick for the Falcons.
All right. I mean, listen. I'll make the Falcons the best franchise you've ever seen in this mock draft.
You better hit.
There we go. Got it on the screen. All right. So, so I have odds? No, you have odds.
Yeah.
All right, Steed. Well, who are you taking with the first pick?
I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but I got to do it. Kyle Trask, quarterback out of Florida. No, I'm going to take T-Law. I'm just, the T-Law. So, the draft starts now.
All right, well, if I'm the Jets, at pick 2, I'm picking up Zach Wilson. I think this is a pretty standard pick for the most part. I think Zach Wilson's just the second best quarterback in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
He's just too good to pass up on. All right, Steve. This is where the draft really starts.
Yeah,
we got the Dolphins here at 3. Who are you taking?
I'm a bigger Jamar Chase fan here, but because of what the Dolphins, I don't think the Dolphins need an outside threat. The inside threat, and I've seen where Devontae Smith is in some rankings at 3 behind Jalen Waddle, which I still don't understand. I'm going to take Devontae Smith here. Just let it be known, I'm more of a Jamar Chase fan, but I think Devontae Smith would help out Tua more and give this team a little more, pizzazz in the slot.
All right, well, with the 4th pick for your Falcons, I'm going to be picking up Penei Sewell.
Huge.
I understand that people are going to say, hey, you should draft a quarterback here. I just think that if I'm the Falcons, I'm going best player available, and that player is Penei Sewell, the left tackle out of Oregon. I think he's just too good to pass up on. This is a Falcons team that was not great with their offensive line last year, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So I'm going to be taking Penei Sewell.
I like that. So this is where it hurts for the Bengals because they can really do with Sewell here. But he's already off the board. So this is where I'm just going to take, I'm just going to go BPA, who I think is the best player available at this point. And I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. I'm going to give Burrow, a generational tight end. Next year, probably at the end of the year, is going to be an easily top 5 tight end in the game. Just give him to me, can do all the aspects in the game. And I'll worry about tackle in the second round for the Bengals.
All right, well, I'm going to be taking Jamar Chase then. I honestly have no idea how to spell Jamar Chase's name. I'm going to hope I get this right.
There's a hyphen after the J-A.
All right, there we go. I think I got it. Yeah, Jamar Chase, I just think he's... if I'm the Eagles, the first thing I need a receiver who won't drop the damn ball. The second thing is that I just need a surefire prospect. And Jamar Chase at 6, he looks like a surefire prospect. So I think he'll help them out in the red zone, which they definitely need. I think that, he'll open up the field a little bit and just be a really good player for Jalen Hurts. So Jamar Chase at 6, I think, is a great pickup for the Eagles.
Yeah, I like that. Lions, this is interesting because, they kind of need everything. I don't want to go quarterback, and I don't want to take Waddle here. I think Waddle could easily go here for some reason. But I'm going to go defense, and I'm going to take Micah Parsons. I still think Micah Parsons is the best defense player in this draft, and, just to get that linebacker to be the core of your team on a rebuilding defense would be huge. So I'm going to go Micah Parsons and just get a playmaker on my defense.
At pick 8 for the Panthers, I'm going quarterback here. The question is what quarterback, and I think the big problem for me with the Panthers is what is going to happen with Teddy Bridgewater? Because I'm pretty sure that Teddy Bridgewater is pretty pissed off of that organization right now. I'm not 100% sure with that, though. And contrary to popular belief, I mean, if you watch the quarterback rankings, I had the two guys I'm choosing between here is Kellen Mond and Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the Panthers and what they need, I think that they need a guy to be a complete leader of that offense, a guy to really take control, change the locker room atmosphere of this team, to kind of have that Cam Newton swag that offense and that team had when they were able to make the Super Bowl. I'm going Mac Jones here for the Panthers at 8. This is a guy that I truly believe is going to be able to turn around an organization and just be the leader of this team. It's a young team. I think the Panthers need a guy they can rally around, and that is Mac Jones, the quarterback out of Alabama.
Yeah. All right. So the Broncos, this is interesting. I'm gonna take Caleb Farley. I'm gonna get a corner. They lost Bouye, right? AJ Bouye.
Bouye. Yeah, AJ Bouye.
Yeah, and I still like Farley over Surtain. I think he's just a better athlete and is kind of do everything. So I'm gonna get a corner, lock it down at 9.
The Cowboys at 10. Man, this is an interesting pick. What do I go here? It has to be defense.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Surtain is probably the pick here.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it has to be Surtain. There's just, after losing a Awuzie, we need a corner if we're the Cowboys. I was really hoping Farley would fall to me, but Surtain has to be the pick. Maybe J.C. Horn if you really like him. Maybe a trade down. Maybe a pass rusher, but I'll take Surtain.
All right. Here we go. The Giants. This is interesting because, I think the Giants need like a receiver or so. I'm going to let Waddle drop a little farther for me. I'm just going to keep on building up the defensive line and take Gregory Rousseau. They just signed Leonard Williams to a big contract. I still think you can never have enough pass rushers. I think he has a very high ceiling. And just to shore up the G-Men's defense.
49ers. See, this is a spot where I can pick up a quarterback here, especially with the quarterbacks that have fallen. I don't think I can pass up on one here. I think it's just too good of a spot. We could have taken a corner, but I think I can. Like the 49ers, we did this mock offseason. We got so many picks. So, I'm going to make the bold pick. I've been high on him. I'm going Kellen Mond here at 12.
Oh.
I think that this is the situation. Yeah, you can laugh at me all you want, but this is the exact situation that I want for Kellen Mond.
Yeah.
He gets a year to develop. I think that he really fits the 49ers scheme. And you get a guy that is way more talented than Jimmy Garoppolo. He has the instincts that Jimmy Garoppolo has. And you just get a way higher ceiling. So I get a year to sit him and then develop him into the quarterback that'll take over. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's a dream scenario for Kellen Mond.
I like that. 13, I think it was a pretty easy pick for the Chargers. Take the next best tackle off the board. I'll just take Rashawn Slater, shore up Justin Herbert's protection, and just move on.
Vikings, man, this is another interesting spot because if I'm the Vikings, and I see that what's his face is on the board, Justin Fields, I'm not really sure I can pass up on him.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Realistically, I could rebuild my defense, but I do think that I'm going to take Justin Fields here if I'm the Vikings. I think it's just too good of a value pick to pass up. He falls all the way to 14. This is a guy that I have a top 10 grade on. So I understand that Kirk Cousins and this team, you want to go defense, but you don't get quarterbacks at the talent level of Justin Fields at 14 every draft.
Yep. All right, so 15 is interesting because, Patriots could go a little. I think. You know what? We haven't the Patriots. We haven't really hit on a receiver prospect. I think Jalen Waddle here at 15 is a good price. You still get a guy with a high ceiling, it's fast. Put him in the slot. Cam, and now if we're rocking with Cam Newton another year, and we just spent some money, some dough on some offensive weapons for him, you add in another weapon. I mean, we're getting scary again, and I like that pick for the Patriots.
All right, here we go. Dude, this is a tough pick here. I'm the Cardinals. I guess I take a corner.
Yeah.
I think it has to be the pick. I guess I'll go J.C. Horn. Maybe some people will consider this a reach. I don't know necessarily. I do really like J.C. Horn. This is a team we need a corner. I don't know what's happening with Patrick Peterson. Maybe I'm overthinking a little bit. We just signed A.J. Green today. See, the thing is with the Cardinals is that I was thinking maybe we take a linebacker. There are some linebackers that, like, Owosu Koromoa is here. And I think that could be a really nasty pickup.
Yeah.
If we were him and Isaiah Simmons kind of at our linebacker spots. Like, I'm not sure I can pass that up here. But I think that J.C. Horn is like the safe pick. So I'll go with J.C. Horn for now because this team desperately needs a corner.
Yeah, I think that's a good consensus pick. This is interesting because, I still think the Raiders need help on defense, but, I can't ignore that they let 60% of their offensive line go. So I feel like I have to go O-line here. I'm going to take Christian Darrisaw out of Tech here. Just get a tackle. I was thinking Elijah Very Tucker, but I think I like Darrisaw a little more. I think he would fit well as a Raider, and I'm going to rock with that.
All right, so you picked up Devontae Smith at pick 3. I am now picking with the Dolphins' second pick at 18. And the guy who I was thinking about taking 2 picks ago, I'm going to take here. I'm going to take Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa. I really hope I spelled his name right.
Oh, linebacker.
I have no idea. I'm just going to say Owosu, all right? I have no idea how to spell his name. I'm sorry. But, yeah, just give me that rock of a linebacker. We have the secondary in Miami. Maybe we go D-line. I wouldn't be terribly surprised at that. There are some good D linemen on the board. I just think that of all the defensive players, Owosu Koromoa is the best player on the board. So I'll be taking him.
I like that. See, I wanted the Raiders to get him, but I just had to go O-line. Now, the football team here is interesting because I kind of just want to take Kwity Paye and just add to that beast of a defensive line where, the quarterbacks couldn't even breathe on any down. But, they have a hole at left tackle. Fitzmagic's going to be the quarterback day one. So I'm going to take Elijah Very Tucker here. Taking tackles. Dang, I'm taking tackles left and right in mine.
Yeah. You're going crazy with the tackles.
Well, I just saying, these teams need tackles, man. Maybe I should have been evens.
So I'm the Bears here. I'm not huge on this guy, but Trey Lance is on the board at 20. You're taking all the tackles. I seem to be taking up all the quarterbacks. I'm going to have to go Trey Lance here. I think this is... I personally don't love Trey Lance as a prospect. I wouldn't necessarily avoid him, but I think this is a little bit early for Lance with my grade on him. It's just the fact that the Bears quarterback room has sucked for years, and Trey Lance does have some talent. You get him in. I just don't really love the situation. I would have liked for the Bears to get a better quarterback than Andy Dalton in free agency so that I can be more comfortable sitting Trey Lance, because right now if I take Trey Lance at 20, if this happens in real life, people are going to be calling for Trey Lance to start day one, and I think he's a very developmental prospect, but the value there is too great to pass up.
All right, 21's interesting because, I think the Colts' biggest need for me right now, I mean, yeah, guard, but I feel like I can get that later, like maybe in the second round or so. So I'm going to take a corner that I'm really high on, especially after I watched his pro day workout. I'm going to take Greg Newsome out of Northwestern. I think he's a guy that could fit very well in that spot and just sure up the secondary for the Colts.
All right, well, this is a nice little pick here for me. I'm going to take Kwity Paye here, an edge rusher. Fell a little bit farther than I expected to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, now I get a nice little tandem because we were talking about earlier in the episode how Bud Dupree has to be that number one guy. Well, now I'm able to spread out my pass rush a little bit by getting another really good, talented pass rusher all the way at 22 in Kwity Paye. Take some pressure off Bud Dupree. I think it's a good move to get the Titans back to where their defense needs to be.
I like that. Jets. I mean, I still think the Jets are in a state where they literally can take anybody. I know a lot of people want them taking a running back. I'm not taking a running back. I'm gonna go Zayvon Collins, man. I'm gonna get a little DN linebacker, like little hybrid stud out of Tulsa. I still really like his game. I could see him going earlier. But I think here at 23 is a good fit for him. I mean, I'm not expecting too much out of the Jets, but Saleh having 2 picks in the first round and being a defensive guy, I'm thinking, he's going to go defense on one of these picks, and I think Zayvon Collins would be a good fit.
My Steelers are on the board, and I am not 100% sure who to pick here. I'm thinking about taking a tackle, but I'm going to hold off on the tackle and get the guy that I really want, and that's Javonte Williams. I know this might be a little bit of a reach, but I don't believe that he'll be there by the time that we pick in the second round. And I do think there will be a very serviceable tackle that will be on the board. I think for the Steelers as well, I do think that they'll bring back our left tackle, Villanueva. We have Banner that we just extended to play at the right tackle spot. I think that Chuck Okorafor we can move inside possibly. So we won't necessarily be forced to start a tackle day one, but I do think we'll bring a tackle in for competition. So the position that we desperately need on that offense is a running back, and Javonte Williams to me is the most talented running back on the board. He kind of checks all the boxes for the Steelers and what they look to draft. So if he's there at 24, I think that, when you look at Rashard Mendenhall years ago, I think that Javonte Williams is just a better version of Mendenhall. So I'll take him at 24.
All right. Jags here, I think this is a pretty easy pick. They need help everywhere on defense, especially on the interior defensive line. So I'm going to take Christian Barmore out of Bama.
Damn, that was my guy. I was going to take him next.
So I'm going to take Barmore. I think, you get a guy easily makes impact day one, especially Urban Meyer. Can fit him into a good role. I kind of like that pick for the Jags.
Browns here. What do I take if I'm the Browns? See, I really wanted Barmore for the Browns because I think that he'd be a nice little fit. I think it has to be pass rusher. So the question is, who is the top pass rusher on the board for me? What's that kid out of Penn State? What's his name?
I'm blanking.
Jason Owe.
Yeah, Owe.
I'm going to take Jason Owe. I think that, I need to replace Olivier Vernon. I get a super talented pass rusher in Owe. There are a couple other guys I can go here. Jalen Phillips, Osai. I mean, there's plenty of them. But I'm going to go Jason Owe here at 26.
At 27, I mean, Ravens have lost a couple pass rusher in Ngabwe and Judon. So I'm just going to fill that up. I'm gonna take a guy that I think could be a little more of a high ceiling kind of guy, and Jalen Phillips. He had a with Rousseau out this year, he kind of really balled out for Miami and is now projected in the first round, a first-round talent. So I think they get a good little piece to, fill that gap where Judon has left them.
Who do I take if I'm the Saints here? This is a good question. It is really tough for me to pass up on a pass rusher here. I think that's the problem. This is a team, we could use a pass rusher. The value matches up with the talent that's on the board. I'm gonna take Osai here. I know some people might like other pass rushers over Osai. I really like what I've seen out of Osai, though. I watched a couple of the Texas games, scouting offensive players, and this is a guy that just jumped off the board, jumped off the film to me. So I'll take him at 28, fourth pass rusher or fifth pass rusher off the board. I think that's a good value pick and a good little prospect for the Saints to get to continue to ensure their D-line is good.
Yeah. So Packers, I really want to go receiver here because I think that's still a need. But I after watching the NFC Championship game and I saw how much of a problem Kevin King was, I want to go corner, and I think Asante Samuel Jr. would be a good pair with Jair Alexander, and I'm going to roll with that.
Bills here. Damn, Asante Samuel Jr. would have been a great pickup for us. This is an interesting pick. I am leaning D-line here, and I'm going to pick up Davion Nixon, D-lineman. This is a D-line group I saw last year. I thought they had a lot of talent. It really didn't show up in a lot of the games. I think they started to find a group that was able to work towards the end of the season, but I still think it's a group that they should look to add talent to. With the corners that have been going off the board here, because Steed seems to have an addiction to taking corners here.
I love all the corners. I want them all.
Yeah, you just snagged them up all before my Bills picked. I'm going to go with Nixon. I'll look for a corner in the second round.
All right, so I get the Chiefs. And when I look at the Chiefs, we need tackles, right? Fisher and Schwartz are looking to be out.
Man, there are some good tackles on the board here.
Yeah, and the question is, who do I go with here? Again, I got to take another tackle. Give me Samuel Cosme out of Texas.
Yeah, that's who I would have taken.
I'm going to take him. Huge guy. Texas, but we got to fill the tackle hole, and I'm pretty sure I took at least 10 tackles in my round.
This is a weird Bucks pick, I'm not going to lie. Because we kind of brought a lot of the holes that we had back onto our roster. I don't think I want to force a running back at this pick because I actually kind of like the running backs that we have even without Leonard Fournette. So that kind of leaves me to either take a tackle, a receiver, or the best defensive player. And I'm going to take who I believe is the best defensive player on the board in Trayvon Moehrig. A safety. Yeah. I don't think we necessarily need a safety, but I'm just going to take the guy who I just think he's the best player on the board. So I'll take a safety. Maybe it's a corner. Maybe I take a receiver. Maybe I take offensive line. Maybe I fucked that pick up. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Trayvon Moehrig as a safety. Just keep getting that defense better. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, and that'll be the mock draft right there. There it is.
Nice.
All right, Steve, initial thoughts on the mock draft? What did you think of that?
I'm the king at offensive tackles and corners.
Yeah. I kind of liked the Greg Newsome pick that you had for the Colts here at 21. I think that's a really good value pick there.
Yeah. I'm a huge Greg Newsome guy.
Yeah, I think that he's a guy that's going to rise up draft boards and go around this area of the draft come April.
Well, I think his pro day really put him on the board because I know he's a very good player and he's always been, but I know he was injury prone coming into the season, that was a question, but I think you just get an amazing talent out of Greg Newsome.
Yeah, so this is the mock draft. Obviously a lot of people will be shocked for me taking Kellen Mond here. I think it's a perfect scenario for him to go, though. Mac Jones at 8 to the Panthers. I like that fit for the pick that I took there.